Today we're sitting down on the porch with Renata, a QHS member whose life is as heartwarming as a home-cooked meal. What paths did she follow to get to where she is today? Let's take a stroll down memory lane and see what's been cooking behind the scenes.
Hello, my name is Renata and I'm 57 years old. And this is my personal journey prequel. That's how I call it. I was born into the trauma family. My grandparents had to escape Germany during the World War II pogroms. My mother was also born in Germany in 1931 and I experienced trauma as well as a child, witnessing injustice towards the Jews. My grandparents never got over the fact the rest of the family perished in the concentration camps. So my grandmother lived in fear for the rest of her life. My father and my mother went through divorce when I was 7 years old. I was extremely devastated by losing my dad, and that completely changed me of who I was. I became a rebel, which caused my family a lot of trouble, stress, and pain. When I was almost 14 years old, I went through very horrific, horrible, life-changing event, and it took me years to recover from that. I had my son when I was 20 years old, and I know it might sound really silly, but I had no idea I was pregnant because I never went to the doctor. I only found out I would be a mom when my son was actually born. His birth was at home, so I have no idea how long I was pregnant or whether I carried him full terms. Life sometimes throws you these lessons and you just go, wow. We moved to US when I was 21 years old and my son was about 8 months old. My family moved to the US when I was 6 years old. The next few years after moving were extremely difficult and hard due to the language barrier, lack of friends, and drastically different lifestyle. I felt like I was on an island with nobody to talk to. I think even then I was carrying a lot of grief and anxiety, and panic attacks accompanied me all the way through. I met my husband and we got married after dating for about 8 years. But after the little girl, my husband traveled for work a lot and I felt very alone, even with the kids, because he was gone. So I became even more reclusive and more introverted than I used to be. I've always been emotionally strong and physically strong, but somehow my fear took over and I developed a fear of heights and driving at night, especially on the rain or on the highways where you have to go up and down. My vision started deteriorated when I was in high school and my teeth began to decay because I was absolutely petrified of the dentist. Back home, we did not have any anesthesia or Novocaine like in this country. So all this procedure with dentists were practically done without. I had a really bad kidney stone and I literally thought I was going to die because none of hospitals or doctors were able to determine what was wrong with me. Luckily, I met a holistic doctor from Israel who brought me back to life. I've always been very active, exercising, running, riding a bike, dancing, doing yoga, Pilates, and just moving around a lot. We went camping and hiking all the time. We always had animals and developed a love for nature and animals, considering their life be as important as the human life. I had a really bad car accident while driving at night in a pouring rain from work. My car flipped over and over in the highway because I was hit. The police were surprised that I didn't have any broken bones or given the circumstances that I was even alive. When people say your life flashes in the front of you, that's exactly what happened to me. I thought I would never see my family or my kids or my friends again. And since then, I developed even worse fear of driving at night, especially in the rain or a highway. Lower my face up here got damaged, my nerve got damaged from the car accident, and I was recommended to do injections and doing a Botox and everything like that, but I've never done anything as far as any fillers or a Botox. I prefer, since I'm a medical esthetician, I prefer to work on myself. So, and this has never kind of went away. After the accident, I had nightmares repeatedly, and my doctor prescribed me sleeping pills to help me sleep because I was unable to do so. I became an insomniac, and to this day, I still depend on the sleeping pills to sleep. They not always help, but sometimes it's just better than nothing. In my 40s, my vision started to worsen even more. I think this might be due to the both of my parents having macular degeneration, or perhaps because I spend a lot of time reading books or on my computer watching movies or playing a game. It could be a combination of both. I have no idea. In my 50s, I went through menopause for about a couple of years, and I still experience extreme hot flashes. I have to keep my house at 60 or 65 degrees, whether it's a summer, winter, fall, or spring. I always slept with my windows open since I was a child. I always prefer to be cold versus being hot. Almost 3 years ago, I lost my mom, and the pain of losing her along with the guilt never went away. I never thought I would recover from that. Right after that, I lost my brother, and a year later, I lost my husband to rare cancer. So literally, half of my family was gone in a period of 2 years. Like in my teens, I started making bad choices when it came to food, started smoking again, and not wanting to get out of the bed or do anything. I hated it, the pain, and I hated everything about the pain. And I hated the lifestyle I had, but I had to override physical pain. I had to override my emotional pain with the physical disgust and the pain. I discovered QHS while working in my studio as a medical esthetician. I owned my skincare studio in Roswell, Georgia for past 24 years. I won a bunch of awards for my work. One day, a client of mine came in wearing a small black device, and I asked her what it was that all about. She explained it to me, and I immediately knew in my heart that something like this I need to do to survive and thrive. I signed up right away in 2022 as a front runner. I received my first black device in November 2022, and I have been wearing it ever since. A year and a half later, I got 2 V6 devices and have never been without them. I sleep with them and wear both of them at the same time. Since last update by Dr. A, I'm only able to wear one because I can't do both. I think it's too strong. When I started wearing my first black device, I immediately noticed I became very bloated and gassy, and I was going to the bathroom frequently. I was also really thirsty, no matter how much water I drink, and I drink a lot. Couple of weeks after wearing the black device, I realized my moods were much better, and I was much more balanced. I rarely found myself in a bad mood, and my temper was milder than ever. I also became more interested in life again, nature and animals, and pretty much everything else. I wanted to look better, feel better, and just be by myself again. My physical pain began to fade with help of my rabbi. I used to go see my chiropractor about once a week and receive physical therapy, like special massages, at least twice a month for about 120 minutes each, because I could not function without them. But now I can go without my chiropractor or massage therapist forever. I lost 50 pounds by completely changing my food style and lifestyle and my thought process, and I finally feel like myself again. I'm incredibly grateful to team of Wade and Tracy and Cynthia and Dr. A for everything they do. Additionally, Bunyan, I probably should be writing all of this down. Additionally, my bunion on my right foot completely dissolved after Dr. A did his last update, and my breasts have become smaller. Thanks God for that. I feel connected to unconditional love for nature and all animals who live among us. I've developed a love for traveling again, which I'm grateful for it. For many years, I was vegan, then vegetarian, then pescatarian, and finally meat eater. And now I'm going back to being a vegan, although I can't give up the honey. I just love honey, and that's the only things. I cannot be vegan 100%. I have always been an animal rescuer and a foster, and about a year and a half ago, I started to wear my V6. I opened a pet sitting and a house sitting business. I passionately provide rescue and fostering for animals, something I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm a very spiritual person and have studied different religions. For the past 15 years or so, I've been studying with the Buddhist monks. I wholeheartedly believe in meditation, spiritual growth, sound therapy, and a soul connection and a tribe connection. My hopes for the future and for the arc are including being able to address all my issues, spiritual, physical, and emotional, and essentially heal my heart and my soul. I aspire to help others as well as animals. When the time comes, I'm determined to be involved in a humanitarian project with QHS and some other project. I also plan to open my animal sanctuary where I be able to connect foster children with elderly and animals. I'm looking for the fresh start, and I believe QHS is the answer to my prayer. I also believe in upcoming events because I've been praying for them as well. As an introvert, I'm an extremely private person, and this project has been particularly challenging for me because I find it difficult to open up to the people I don't know, even to those I do know. Nevertheless, I'm grateful to Cynthia, Tracy, and Wade for bringing this into my life and bringing this technology into the world. And I hope to contribute it to healing the world as they do. My blessing with them. Thank you very much. So anyway, thank you for listening to me for God ever. And I'm hoping to meet you all soon.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.